What is up, loud and proud crowd? I hope you guys are doing absolutely fabulous on this nice, pretty Sunday. I got in pretty late last night, wasn't feeling the best this morning, so I didn't end up going to church, but I do recommend that you guys do attend to your church. But what we are going to be doing is working on the this truck a little bit, or when I say working on it, I mean not like nothing crazy, because I got to get this video up the same day because I got a little bit behind. But basically what I want to do is I kind of want to get an exhaust tip for this, because I kind of asked for you guys to take a vote down in the comment section, and tons of people are like, dude, get a tip for the thing. So since this might be like this for a little while, you know, without the flatbed on it until we get everything else done, and lines and fuel work and all that stuff, we might put an exhaust tip on here for the time being, just because, just for laughs, it would be funny. And another thing I wanted to do is pop the hood of this thing and see if it still has a turbo silencer ring on it or not. So I want to get to that first and figure out if it does or not. And then what I also want to do is, you know, then test the exhaust note, you know, if it's still on, let's say, and I take it off, test the exhaust note, see what it sounds like with it off, and then also then go get an exhaust tip if I can for like 20-25 bucks, and then see how that, you know, sounds on there as well. So I'm not going to blow a bunch of money on this project. I mean, it's just for laughs, so it's not like something I really care to blow a bunch of money on. But if it would be cool and funny, shoot, I'll do it. It would look so dorky, but it'd be the funniest thing, putting an exhaust tip on there. So I'm going to get to popping the hood of this thing, looking around under there, trying to get and see if the turbo silencer ring is still on there or not. So we're going to get to that right now. There they are, or there it is, however you want to refer to it. That's what she should look like with the silencer ring taken out. Basically, how that works, most of you guys should know, but if you don't, basically, this is your silencer ring. Sits up in there, seals off those gaps around the, you know, the turbo wheel. I think that's what you want to call it. And then this clip sits in that little groove around there in front of that to hold it into place. And then you can, if you can get around one of these edges, I used a hammer and a flathead, and I kind of tapped in around one of the edges and pry it out, then you can pretty much pop that off. It can be kind of tricky at first, but it's a very simple concept. So I'm going to get this hose here mounted back up. Well guys, there's one more thing that I wasn't able to address because I wasn't making a video, but my turning signals are not working on my truck. So I'm not getting anything on the dash, I'm not getting anything outside of the truck, and go figure, I've used my GoPro for a total of 5 minutes today, and it says it's at 10% battery already, and batteries were completely charged. So since I'm only going like 3 minutes and I'm only making like 2 turns, I'm just gonna go to the AutoZone, and I want to get that exhaust tip for the other truck, but I also want to check in and see if they have any idea as to, you know, why my turning signals aren't working. Only reason I'm taking the truck is like if they have to look at it and kind of give me a pointer as to what fuses it may be, or a relay or whatever, they can point me in the right direction and get me what I need. So we got some good news, and we got some not so fun news. Good news is I have blinkers again. Apparently it was this flasher right here, just that little part, and that was that. That was all that it was. That apparently just ended up failing. So sucks, but it was a cheap part, $7, and now I have blinkers again, which is nice to have when driving down the road. Like I said, I got the flasher replaced on my truck. Now I have blinkers on my truck, which is a pretty good thing to have when driving on the road and stuff. But I'm thinking about putting this exhaust tip on that truck just for testing and see how I like it. However, this could be an absolute pain in the butt to get off, so that might not happen. So we'll see. I'll try to mess with it, but if it just will not budge, I'm not gonna fight that thing for, you know, 2 hours, you know, just to test and see if I like it. I'll just, you know, find a cheap one to buy it. But I went to the store, and where I got my flasher for my truck, so I have turning signals, they did not have any 4-inch inlet exhaust tip. So basically it just didn't work. So I just didn't buy one. But yeah, regardless, we do have this turbo silencer ring off, so I'm gonna see how that sounds. I'm really excited to see how that sounds, because before, I remember guys in the comments like, oh dude, that silencer ring has got to be off. That thing is screaming, like you just hear the turbo screaming. And I was like, no dudes, I'm like, it is still on the truck. So now it's officially taken off, and I am really curious as to how that's gonna sound, because with that off, it could sound a lot different, like in terms of like the note that you hear from the whistle of the turbo. So that's exciting for sure. So I'm going to mess around with that exhaust tip for a little bit off camera, see if it'll come off. If it's not gonna budge, I'm just not gonna mess with it anymore. But then I'll for sure get to starting of this truck, pulling it outside and seeing how the exhaust note sounds. I tried to mess with that exhaust tip for like 10 minutes. I'm not even gonna mess with it. The thing is, like, there's this band, and the back half has, like, you know, those cuts through it in like 4 or 5 different spots to where you can, like, they fold in and tighten down to get it a super tight fit. Well, that was done years ago now. And so it's like, it is on there, like it is like eroded on there, and with all the heat that's been on there for all those years, like, I mean, it is snug. So what I'm just gonna do is I'm going to prop the GoPro tripod up over here, and don't judge my paint can tripod. And then I'm going to just set it up right here, get the start up, and then back it out, and see how she sounds. I think it'll sound pretty good. A little bit louder of a whistle for sure, but it ain't no like screamer, I guess you could say, like exhaust note. I think, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Can you hear a difference, or can you not hear a difference? It's just so loud that it's hard to really define the turbo noise from everything else. It sounds good, that's for sure. My gosh dang windshield wipers turned on. What in the heck? There. It definitely sounds better. Probably gonna wrap up what we're gonna be doing with this truck today. It's a Sunday, like I said, and I'm really not feeling my best. Like, I'm just not feeling good right now. So I'm not gonna be doing any kind of like crazy labor on that truck today, or any of the trucks for that matter. And I hope you guys can understand that. Like, when you feel like sick, it's just kind of hard to really work your body that much. Anyways, guys, I just wanted to make sure I got this video out to you guys, obviously, because I did post yesterday, and I felt like I had to post at least something, kind of update you. And I was out of town, I was in Kentucky, and that's why I didn't film yesterday, but that's all good, because it feels good to actually get a break once in a while. When you do it every single day, and like today's video is not going to be one of those days where it took hours and hours and hours of working on trucks and editing and stuff, but when you do so many days, like I did about 140 days straight, and I missed like 2 days, and yesterday will be 3 days out of all those days that I didn't, you know, edit for hours and hours and hours and hours, you know, making videos. It just kind of gets to you a little bit when you go in that far, and I know there's people out there who are doing it even longer, and I've done way more and everything else, but I'm just saying, like, for me at least, like, it can get tiring after so much and get a little bit straining, so that's felt really good to take a break. But I also wanted to mention something on my truck that we're going to try to get addressed here soon. I know in the other video I was telling you how my frame had a crack in it, and a bunch of guys were kind of asking about that. You know, my dad, he said that we know a guy at church, and basically he does welding and stuff like that, and he's good at what he does. So we're going to see if he can, you know, take my truck over and see if he can, you know, do something with that crack, whether he has to really sand it all down, add a little bit of steel to it, you know, weld something on, like something to reinforce it. It's not like it's gotten any worse since I've owned the truck. I mean, it's just old, and it was rusted there, so it's got a little crack now. But we're just going to see what can be done about it, if anything, and anything will help. It's either we just don't do anything to help that, you know, the crack in the frame, or we at least try to get it reinforced with some steel or something, you know, to at least help with that the best that we can, just to make sure we don't have anything go wrong with it, or pulling a trailer and all that strain, you know, in the front between the engine and the trailer load, and putting strain on that crack in the frame, because it is about midway, almost halfway down the frame exactly. So but yeah, that's going to get looked into on the truck very soon. My dad's looking at other options for maybe sandblasting the frames of the trucks and some other stuff. So we're just trying to toy around with some ideas, try to figure out what we want to do, how we want to go about it, and all those different odds and ends we're trying to figure out, especially with this truck, since we do have it all tore apart right now. So we want to try to move on with this one as much as we can. We got to get a fuel system on it and all that stuff, because it's got leaky fuel lines, and so it makes it hard starting and all that stuff. So anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I really do apologize for not feeling good and not being able to really put in a bunch of work on a video today. So I hope you guys can understand. If you guys have not yet, please leave a like on the video if you have not yet. Also, join the family and subscribe. Leave your comments below. I'll catch you guys tomorrow, I hope. Peace.
Doing what I love, going day to day, but I know it takes time and I'm patiently waiting. Sometimes I contemplate, cause one day you feel so close and the next is out of sight. But I know I gotta hold on tight to go back to just going out every night. Like if I'm about to let it go now, I can live alright, live a normal life, doing 9 to 5. But I know I'm more than that. I gained this skill, wasn't born with that. At the end of the life, it's a memory.